around like you stupid. King of the town.
Yeah, what do you say? Bring it on in. And a good evening, everybody. We are live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. We will be coming up at 7:30 with The Blind Side. And that will be featuring Trey Thomas and Todd Harriman's. Great show there by Gerald Colton, Dave Spadaro, and, of course, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Fantastic stuff across the board. And what was a terrible result, so they didn't spend too much time on the game from yesterday, and that's a thumbs up. Jeremiah Trotter did recover a fumble, played a bunch of special teams, a little bit on the inside linebacker as well. And I think he could tackle a little bit better than what we saw yesterday. So maybe we can get him into a game coming up in the future. All right, folks, making his debut on The Gambler. This is a man that is doing wonders for us behind the scenes. Not too much as far as like hitting the gas pedal like he wants to be on the air. But I said to him the other day, it's like, dude, you got all these stats, you're wagering left and right. Like, no, we got to get you on the air. You're too damn good for you not to be out there, and especially joining me. So helping me behind the scenes, doing a lot of stuff. Nick McClay making his debut right here on The Gambler. McClay, how we doing? How we doing?
I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm excited for the opportunity. Appreciate you guys. Like you said, I do have a lot of stats to bring. Hopefully they can bring us some winners.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
You know, but here we are.
That's right.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, the beautiful thing is, Nick, right? We got 30 minutes to kill. And I go, all right, we're going live because we got two Monday Night Football games. First of all, Braves did clinch a playoff spot. So the Braves are in. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be the Braves and the Brewers in that first round matchup. I believe that is what's going on there. And then, because Luke just joined me, why am I drawing a blank on what he told me at 5 o'clock? I believe that is the case. Do you have anything on that, McClay?
I believe that is. I think you're right.
Okay, so it's the Brewers and the Braves in that wild card matchup. It'll be the Mets and the Padres in that other wild card matchup. And of course, it's really important for us. The Phillies will play the winner of the Brew Crew and the Mets, Brewers and Braves series. So many teams. But you know, anyways, that's how we finally put a bow on the MLB regular season. Game 1 was tremendous. Mets did what they needed to do. Game 2, nobody cares. Just get to postseason play. Now, both of those teams are going to celebrate, pop champagne, and get on a flight and play a playoff game tomorrow. Good luck. We'll talk a little bit about that one tomorrow. All right, let's talk about Monday Night Football, McClay. We got 2 games here. What do you want me to call you? You want me to go McClay or you want to go Nick?
McClay's fine.
McClay?
Nick, don't matter.
The boys call you McClay?
Yeah, or Nick. Either way.
What do they call you?
Nick.
All right.
Nick.
We'll call you Nick then. We'll go by your name here. All
I'll
right.
answer to anything.
So we got 2 Monday Night Football games here, Nick, and Titans and Dolphins 2.5. That's our first one coming up here in about 20 minutes or so. DraftKings Sportsbook Dolphins 2.5-point favorites, 37.5 is our total in that one. Money line feeling froggy. Titans plus 124, Dolphins minus 148. Now, my instant handicap, and I want to come to you, Nick, is to find out where do you go when you start breaking this game down specifically. My instant handicap is I'm not really feeling too confident about either one of these offenses. So right here, and of course, the total is telling you such at 37.5. Points are at a premium. I would honestly say if I'm playing anything, it's the under. I'm looking at the under at 37.5, and that pains me, but this has got ugly written all over it. Where do you start your handicap with this game?
I completely agree. This is going to be disgusting with Huntley under center. And I mean, Will Levis hasn't really shown anything. I do like Titans defense though. So I do like this under, especially like we already said with who's going to be under center for both these teams. I saw Ty Hill's line was at 50. And for a player like that, I mean, 50, he could get that on 2 plays. So I think that would be something that I look at, but not too confident with Huntley throwing to him. I saw in the Gambler Gang, A-Chain's receiving yards.
Yeah, Roy likes A-Chain.
I like that a lot.
And because Mostert, is he out because he was supposed to be not playing?
Yes, I believe he was ruled out.
Okay, so that's one of the issues there. And again, man, Dolphins are just scraping the barrel for quarterback play. They're rolling Tyler Huntley out there. Snoop who is
Ooh.
their starting quarterback. Yeah, I pulled up the inactives list. Actually, I'm not seeing anything at this point in time.
For Mostert?
Oh no, Mostert. Yep, inactive.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there it is. So he is out there. Yeah, again, I just don't have any confidence in this game whatsoever. So from the standpoint of the Miami Dolphins, is there anything there with you from a possibility of getting Tyreek going here? Because again, somebody's got to make some sort of play, but you got to get him the football to do so.
Right. I mean, like you said, you got to get a player like him. You got to get him the ball. I know Huntley, he is a very good runner, so I could see them using his legs a lot. I was looking at his line right now. I think it was at 30. I think 30 rushing line for him could do well.
Yeah, 40 plus is plus 150 right
Okay,
now in
that's a
DraftKings
spot to look
Sportsbook.
at.
That's nice.
But yeah, I mean, 50 receiving yards for a dynamic player like Tyreek Hill. It's hard to take that, and even if you lose it, you say, so be it. I took 50 yards from one of the best receivers in the league.
Yeah. Well, Huntley is interesting. It's an interesting case here because I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to throw it with him left and right. I would assume I'm right there with you as far as, hey man, if they plan on going with him, why not play to some of his strengths here and pulling up his stats as far as rushing. He played in 5 games last year, and I pulled it up because Lamar won the MVP. He didn't miss those games. So we're talking about mop-up duty, some other spots. He played in 5 games for the Baltimore Ravens last year. He's 21 of 37. Rushing the ball last year, he had 15 carries for 55 yards. Previous couple seasons to that, he had a couple rushing touchdowns. He's been able to break 2021, his longest run was 21 yards. Again, last year he rushed the ball a few times, 15 carries for 55 yards. His longest one was 11 yards. So that could be an interesting angle here. What about anytime touchdown scorer for Huntley here?
You could see that. What's that?
That's plus 320.
That's worth it, I think.
Is this an all-in Huntley game here?
Could be. Are we Snoop fans right
We're
tonight?
Snoop fans, baby. Let's go. Snoop. I dig it. All right. Anything else from this game? Again, from the Titans' perspective, if Will Levis plays well, who's he getting involved?
I know Ridley didn't really do much last week. I mean, if you do, you probably go to him. Pollard also didn't have a good week last
Pollard
week.
is the guy.
Yeah.
He gets 2-to-1 carries over Tajay Spears.
Right.
So I would look at a Pollard anytime touchdown and Huntley anytime touchdown. Those are my 2 plays. I might even, you know what? I just went from not liking this game to not playing in this game to now lumping up and doing a parlay here with 2 anytime touchdowns.
Tony Pollard and Ty Huntley anytime plus 1,000.
Hello. We're in, baby. We're in. Did I just sell that to you?
Cook something up?
Let's go.
Place it.
That's what we do. We're in the kitchen. That's what we're calling it, right? Getting ready for Monday Night Football.
Not very hard to convince me. I can tell you that.
It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it at all. I know you can't hear it, but we got the Monday Night Football bugles going. All right, so that's game 1. Game 2. Let's get on over to which we hope will be a better scoring game from the standpoint of one team. 4.5 DraftKings Sportsbook Lions favor. 47 is our total here. High total there. Seahawks and Detroit Lions head to head this evening. McClay, when you start to break down this game, where does your mind go initially for the handicap?
First goes, I think Lions steamroll them. I got it at 3.5 earlier in the week. It already boosted up to 4.5. I just don't think the Seahawks really have what can stop the Lions offense. I love Jameson Williams in this. Give me a couple deep shots. I know we were talking about him earlier.
He didn't do anything in that Arizona game.
I know. Bounce back. Give me a bounce back.
Bounce back spot. Okay.
I like it. Give me
sold.
Some deep shots. I also like Jackson Smith and Jigba. I know probably a lot of people are on DK tonight, and rightfully so. He's an unbelievable talent. But I think someone that's going to feed in the slot. I know they have Lockett as well, but I think Smith and Jigba is gonna have a lot of targets, a lot of opportunity.
All right. Right now, Seahawks undefeated 3-0. So why are we so hell bent on them losing tonight to the Detroit Lions, because that's where I'm at. I love the Lions this evening. 4.5, I'm fine with it, whatever. I think this is an ugly game. I think that the defense gets there. And if you remember earlier in this season, I mean, it wasn't too long ago. We only played 4 games, but that Rams-Lions game, I think that was week 1. So Hutchinson and that defensive front got after Stafford a bunch in the first half, and then they were unable to do so in the second half. I just don't see that happening here. I think this is going to be a steady flow of pressure from Detroit all game long. So I'm looking at the defense. If I'm firing on anything tonight, I'm not touching anything Seattle. I don't like anything from DK. I don't, any of the receivers. I know you just talked about a little bit of your breakdown, but run and attack. I just think this is a lopsided, ugly spot for Seattle, and I think they're going to run into a buzzsaw tonight in Detroit. Now, Detroit has struggled to score in the red zone. That's been their biggest issue, in my opinion, so far this season. Again, big-time win last week over Arizona, but they haven't hit that stride. They don't look like that team that was being discussed to be a potential Super Bowl, winning the NFC and appearing in the Super Bowl this year. So where I'm standing right now tonight, I like Detroit to hit the gas pedal, get really after Geno Smith, beat up on Seattle, who's dealing with a fair share of issues on the defensive or offensive line there. And then I do like Jameson Williams, but I'll be honest with you, like that's my bias coming in here. And it's really tough with Detroit because you got to pick your poison here. Like they got a lot of good players here, but it seems like Montgomery is going to get the consistent carries down in the goal line. Gibbs is going to eat. I mean, I love St. Brown as well. I think he's a stud, but where are we looking at with him? You like Williams just from the standpoint of the home run threat?
I do. I think you can get that on any single play. I do like, and we haven't even talked about him. Sam Laporta hasn't done anything.
That's true. Laporta as well.
Maybe tonight's a bounce back spot for him.
Well, what has been the issue with Laporta? Why has he not been able to get going?
It seems like he's not getting enough separation. He's not getting enough the volume there. I mean, like you said, it's hard to really spread the ball there with Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Montgomery, and now Jameson Williams now popping off. So it is hard to spread that ball.
Gibbs, 52.5 on the rushing yards here. He's run for 53 or more yards in 6 of his last 9 games. There's a lot of love for Gibbs here as far as attempts are concerned, that over the mark. Yeah, I just, like I said, I always have a difficult time when you rolling out offenses that have a plethora of weapons out there. And I think we could describe Detroit with that exactly. So for me, I'm with you on Jameson Williams. I like his style. I like him get with the bounce back coming off of last week with the goose egg there. Terrible outing, even though they ended up winning that game. What about Goff? Are we thinking like Goff is able to get it going today?
I think he should. I'm not. I like this offensive line to protect him a lot. I know they, as you're seeing on the screen right now, Frank Ragnow rolled out, so that doesn't look good.
No,
but I think he can get it
right
going.
Right on cue. That's perfect.
But like you were saying, this offense has so many weapons. It's hard not to back Goff in getting them the ball.
Right now, anytime touchdown scores here on DraftKings Sportsbook. Montgomery -140, Gibbs -115, Kenneth Walker +105, St. Brown in there +140, Laporta 2-1, Jameson Williams +250, Charbonnet +235, DK +185, Tyler Lockett +270, and Jigma 270. And we'll stop there. I saw some people on my timeline talking about Noah Fant. I'm like, come on, man. Like, really, is that what we're talking about?
Brock Wright slips tonight?
No, exactly. All right. And then as far as defense, what can we get down on defense here? Sacks for Hutchinson. Just get me one at -188. I'll pass on that. These boys are going to eat tonight.
Yeah, they are.
These boys are going to eat. Tackles and assist. Hutchinson, I'll tell you straight up, McClay, I never really messed with defensive props, but I'm really feeling a big-time defensive performance tonight.
I like that. Oh, yeah, 7.5 -188 for a sack. That's a lot of juice.
Was that just for
Aiden Hutchinson sack?
Wow. Detroit Lions sack prop. Both teams record a sack -650. That's fine, whatever. Nothing really big there. Yeah, man, I would love to get some specialty props on this game, but I want to see player specials. Here we go.
See, Witherspoon, he's a dog out there, 5.5 tackles. Can't believe we're talking tackle props.
I
right
know,
now.
I know, I know. But it's just because I think it's going to be one-sided.
I agree.
So that's why I'm actually looking in here.
Mhm.
Jamison Williams to have 20-plus receiving yards in each half, plus
Oh.
250.
Oh,
Are we on that one?
give it to me.
Are we on that one?
Give it to me. This is what we do. We're in the kitchen. We're cooking.
All right.
You see these?
That's a good play.
I like that. I saw Beef was on JMO 100 plus.
Everybody's on
I
JMO.
like that.
He is the X factor.
He is.
Like this team is that
It
good.
opens up so much.
Yeah, they were that good without him, and now here we are. It's like, dude, what All right. Well, here's what I got. I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna go with that. I actually have a little bit more at stake with this game. This is one of those games, and hey, up front, yesterday. Well, we talked about this on Thursday, and Jansen, I said the one game that was really speaking to me was the Baltimore game.
Mhm.
As far as the line was concerned, I said, I just feel like Baltimore's going to roll them. I think that's going to be a tough spot. And Buffalo averaging 37-plus points per game going into that, and it was all Baltimore. So I had a great feeling about that. I got a pretty good feeling here, too, as well.
I like that.
I think Detroit's definitely my favorite play out of all of them. So I'm on Detroit, but we're going to ride Jameson Williams here a little bit. We're going to get involved with him. I like that special at plus 250 on DraftKings. So we'll run with that. And then from the earlier game, we said Pollard and Huntley. Yeah, Pollard and Huntley, 2 touchdowns. So we got a little action in that game as well. All right, McClay, you're a young man, a young whippersnapper, but I'm pretty sure you know about a guy by the name of Pete Rose, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It is apparent. Which we lost to Kemi Mutombo earlier this year, which is terrible. And I shouldn't bring up both of those names at the same time. But apparently, I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is on the timeline. TMZ. Pete Rose, at the age of 83, has passed away. 83 is a hell of a life, man. 83 years. That's unbelievable. Pete Rose. Two things. We know everything that's taken place with him, right? So that's, of course, front and center. I have done a few events over my years, been very lucky in this broadcasting media world. I did an event with Pete Rose at the Iron Abbey.
Okay.
All the way out there. And this was probably a little bit more than a decade, 12 years ago. So we're in the room, and this is insane when I tell you this. Pete Rose the room was filled up with diehard Phillies fans, old school Phillies fans, right? And Pete Rose sat up there and told a few stories and then took questions. Had no idea what was being thrown his way. But that dude he was being asked about a specific at-bat, and he could tell you what the count was, who the pitcher was, and this is from 40 years ago, 50 years. It blew my mind. When having the opportunity to be involved, one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my lifetime right here, working in this industry. It was at the previous radio station. That was insane to hear him break down those at-bats, talk about some of the great names. And, it's a shame the way things broke out for him with the whole cheating scandal and betting on baseball, because up until that point, that was a guy that you would look somebody in the eye and say, he played the game the right way. That dude busted his ass a little bit too much over the top. He ran over Ray Fozzie, I want to say what the catcher's name was, in the All-Star game, and that catcher was never the same. He ran over a catcher in the All-Star game.
It's hard right there.
Yes.
That's hard.
Charlie Hustle passed away at the age of 83. Incredible. Of course, got the Phillies over the hump when they ended up winning the World Series. And, man, we lost 2 big pieces to the Philadelphia sports world puzzle. Not to sit here and say Dikembe brought that team to a championship back in 2001, but man, he was defensive player of the year. He was fantastic, and unfortunately, he went up against a guy by the name of Shaq. So, wow, crazy stuff that Pete Rose just passed away right there.
That's unbelievable. Thoughts and prayers to both their families, Mutombo, Rose. That's a shame.
Yeah, man. Very good. Very good. All right, McClay. Great debut. The debut. How do you think you did?
I hope good. I hope we gave out some winners, but this is fun. I appreciate it. This is awesome.
So McClay cooks up these graphics. He's got all these breakdowns. He's at work, him and Beef coming up with some good ideas, cooking up those parlays, and he fires them out on our socials. So be sure to give him a follow. What is your Twitter handle, McClay?
Nick McClay 22.
Yeah, Nick
lowercase.
McClay 22. I just went ahead and retweeted there. So fantastic job on the graphics. Keep it going, my friend. And of course, helping us behind the scenes, doing a big job with us right now. And we're going to be doing a lot more of these, man, with the Phillies in red October. And of course, Major League Baseball playoffs. We're rolling right in to hoops season. Sixer season is here. And hell, we might even have a good hockey team. Who knows? But a lot is coming our way. That's for sure right here on The Gambler. All right, coming up next, we're going to head back out to Chickies and Pete's in Marlton for The Blind Side, a show that is co-hosted by Eagles legends Trey Thomas and Todd Hermans. They're going to talk about the game. They're going to give you the correct breakdowns. I can't wait to hear their thoughts on the effort from the defensive side of the ball. Was I out of line? Because I didn't think they cared at all on the defensive side of the ball. It felt like when Baker Mayfield went down the field 8-9 on the opening drive with that easy touchdown pass in the corner, it felt like the game was over at that point in time. Of course, we know the result was the result, but it looked like that defense wanted no part of that 109-degree weather down in Tampa and ultimately made a business decision mentally to check out of the game. And very frustrating. The common denominator in all of this poor play right now is Nick Sirianni. So I don't expect him to lose his gig, but man, he did not have his team ready yesterday, motivated and ready for battle. That's for damn sure. But Todd Hermans and Trey Thomas know the game a little bit more than I do. So I can't wait to hear their thoughts on everything from the Eagles and Bucks that's coming your way on the other side. Once again, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. It's the Gambler right here. Nick McClay, Sean Brace. Don't go anywhere, though. On the other side, Blind Side, Todd Hermans and Trey Thomas. Back into this.
If you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, make some noise!
Watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu, beginning Monday.
All right, you guys are